Hello, my little munchkins, my little crones, and my sunflowers. How are you on this fine Monday evening? Well, I hope everything with you is great. I hope you had a wonderful Back to Life Monday, and I hope the rest of your week goes well. With that being said, we are talking about
Yes, Real Housewives of
Real Housewives of
Potomac.
Potomac. I have a pet peeve, and my pet peeve, before we even get started, my pet peeve is I believe Juan loves. I believe Juan loved
Robin.
Robin, but I want to know, is he in love with her? It's just not natural the way he talks to her.
No,
I just want to lay out 3 cards just to see, because she loves him.
she does.
And no matter what, she covers up for him. And I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I got a pet peeve with it. And you know, if I'm pulling out the cards, I want to know, what is it? Does he love her? I know she loves him. I know she loves him. But do he love her? Do he love her? Do you think? I mean, I know he love her,
Yeah,
but is he in love with her?
right. That's the better question.
Is he in love with her? I know he loves her. I know he have love for her, the mother of his children.
Yes, and we did just recently hear that he has taken the time off and is currently not working, but he is coaching their son's basketball team. At least that's what was said on Watch What Happens.
What I see about this read, let me give it to you real fast. First of all, what I see, this is a quick read. What I see here is wounded. Is wounded. And when I see wounded, I see wounded there. There is a lot of wounded, a lot of hurt, of infidelity, I feel like it was a lot of infidelity. And I think what is one of the problems in their marriage is that their past still haunts them, of the loss of the money that they struggled with. I think they still struggle with that financially, of trust. And I think the infidelity of their marriage is still showing up as an undercurrent in his marriage that make him stay on guard. So they have a distrust as an underlying current towards each other. Him, her, with him, money, her, his faithfulness. So I see a imbalance in it. So does that mean he loves her? He loves her, but he doesn't fully trust her. If that makes sense. He's secure in his marriage.
Okay.
But I think when it comes down to finances, maybe because she's up on her feet or whatever, I just see something there with this finances thing. And that really took a weight and a heavy blow on their marriage. And I definitely see it. And I definitely see infidelity too. So do he love her? The cards are saying, yes, he's there. He's guarding his family, but it was a psychic blow. And they can, but I guess he's going to, I don't even want to pick another card. Okay. I think he just needs to start being faithful.
Yes, honestly.
And she has to trust him when it comes down to money. They have to trust each other in different ways. And somehow their past keeps coming up in their marriage. And he is a very impatient man when it comes down to his wife. That's only because of those situations of the past. But he shouldn't be that way because of his infidelity.
Honestly,
and it's weighing heavy on their marriage. But I'll come back and read about them another time. But I just didn't want to, I don't want to know, are they breaking up? Because that is not the desire for me. I want them to make it. They made it this long. So anyway, I just wanted to read that. How was that, baby Crone?
Yes, that was good, because that was your pet peeve.
That was my pet peeve. I had to read on that. So go ahead. Their past is really, that's where all that anger coming from.
Well, first off, it's not really a pet peeve. I would just like to say, as of right now, we are 8 episodes in, and I honestly have to say, Nneka is my favorite person.
I really like her. I think she's reasonable.
Yes. I always love what she has to say. She
Mhm.
calls out Candace. She's like, Candace doesn't want to own anything that
She
she
calls
does.
out, but she doesn't call her out to her face though.
No.
It's everything is
Yeah, she's just
behind
telling
camera.
her. Yeah, she's just like, here's my observation of the group.
Right. And I like that. And I like that she's real. She act like she belonged there. And it's a good fit for Wendy because they look good together,
Yes.
you know. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like them both. It's good. It's good for Wendy. It balanced Wendy out too.
Right. Now, before we get into the big tit for tat that happened at the very end of the episode, this episode was mainly focused on Karen and her birthday.
Yes.
Yes, it was a nice celebration to see her get down and loose at a drag queen show.
And got on them knees.
Yes. And then later said that her knees hurt afterwards.
Her knees hurt.
Yes. She was just like, girl, my knees are hurting.
Her knees probably wasn't hurt.
But yes, so Karen had turned 60. So Gazelle and Ashley decided to throw her a little, at the very beginning, a painting party where all the ladies got to paint their picture of what they think Karen looks like or their representation of Karen, which all the ladies did a very abstract way of describing Karen. I said abstract because I thought of the way Candace drew her, and she really just drew hair and like lips and then like colored in the background. And Karen was just like, what even is that? But I did find that interesting that Karen did not like NECA's painting of her.
I thought NECA painting was nice for them not to be artists.
Yes, that is true. I did like it. I mean, but maybe by the
they all had shoddy work, but
that is true. They all did.
So,
but I mean, they were painting. They were all having fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did like your idea when you said that you would have liked to save all of those as like a memento.
I would have saved every last one of them and had them in a wall and on my wall. Yeah. Even if I didn't like some, I would still keep it as a set, definitely. Yeah. Because all those women are famous in their own right.
And they all really put thought into the
art especially when Robin put the check.
Yes. Karen even had to admit it. She was like, okay, this is gonna be this one time I gotta give you this hug. she was like, I really respect you for that one.
Yeah.
And also, as the birthday cake was an apple pie to symbolize the apple pie that Karen was talking about, how she had half in the freezer, whatever that was supposed to mean.
I think that had something to do with her and Robin about the half of the pie, about how they're going to get close and communicate or something like that.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm sorry. I have to talk about Wendy real quick.
Go, please. No, it's fine. You're fine. You got enough time.
Wendy tried to play the sob story once again. I'm sorry that her mother was in the hospital, but also at the same time, she was just like, guys, my mother's in the hospital. Please stop trying to say she's putting people to a shrine. She's basically dying. Don't you see? She's not hurting anybody. That's how Wendy wanted to frame it.
And then she used that as a thing. This is why we don't believe in shrines. A shrine can be used for good. A shrine can be used for bad. It's what you want a shrine for. Yeah. A shrine is like an altar, a place where you have sacred relics or crystals and you pray or whatever you do, make sacrifices, whatever. It's up to each individual what is a shrine, you know. I think Wendy makes so much of it, and I truly believe it's a lot to do with Wendy mother and where from.
I mean, next episode it looks like she might confront her mom about that, but I think her mom said you shouldn't question elders or something like that. Like, don't question what I do. If you hear about me putting her name in a shrine, that's none of your business.
Her mother didn't say
Yeah,
that.
no, but that's how she implied when
Okay.
she was like,
Mhm.
respect your elders or something like that.
Well, I would like to hear that.
Yes,
but
full context.
yeah.
But other than that, speaking of other family members, Mia and Gordon are going through. I don't think they showed this clip in the last episode where she said that she had gotten a divorce attorney
Yes,
because
she
she
did.
wanted to file a divorce
Mm-hmm.
or thinking about it at least. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God. And Gordon's going to call you out later for not being faithful. I'm just like, what? But she said this is not the man that she's married and she doesn't recognize who he is. So I guess.
Well, of course you'll say that if you're cheating. Of course you'll say that if your heart is somewhere else. Of course you would say that.
Fair enough. Right.
So come on. He
Yeah,
called her out. He said she's a cheater.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you've been cheating on me on the last 7 years. She didn't deny it from what I gathered.
Mm-mm.
But the truth will come out in the wash. It wouldn't shock me that Mia want more from that life and that man ain't had the money and went through some hard times. That don't shock me.
Those finances really, I mean, they probably already had problems, but this finance was like the icing on the cake.
And then you're going to say the reason why you're really upset is because, he's not going to give him that money. Look, that's his money. It's up to him to do what he want to do with his money. I don't get into that, a man and how he handle his money, but it just seems to me, I want to see how this is going to play out with them too, because for the first time, she gets up and run away from the table next week. So
yes, it said that she's really triggered.
This is the way that she's going to show that it's getting ugly. But she's holding up. She's being stoic. She's holding up. So, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that about Mia. What else going on?
Other than that.
Oh, yes, Candace.
Yes, that's exactly who I was getting ready to talk about next. Because later in the episode, Candace was called out by Ashley. Because Ashley is just like, she was just like, you seemed really emotional the other day in the car about Robin and her situation. Yet just a few months ago, you was bashing her online and talking bad about her. So your actions and your behavior is not lining up, Candace. And Candace was like, I'm not going to talk to you about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Robin was just like, I feel offended and feel hurt or like betrayed because you're going to be talking about me on social media. And then Candace is going to sit there and be like, why are you upset? What did I ever do to you? It's just a whole tit for tat. Of course, Candace is not owning anything.
The thing with Candace is, I don't understand how anyone can hold a grudge all this time over anything. Especially no life was lost, no blood was shed.
Yeah.
No violence, nothing. Just a matter of somebody sharing something you didn't like, but you can't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Candace is immature.
She really is.
She's just immature to me. But she's 26 years old.
36.
36 years old. And she wants to have a baby. And I wonder if she's on any kind of hormone. Because every time you turn around, she's crying now.
She really is.
She's like a bucket of tears.
That is a good question. Because I know last season she was on IVF. So I'm not sure if those are still running out of her system.
Well, because I know that she said she didn't want to do that anymore. I don't know, but she's just a water bucket.
She really is.
Mm-hmm. With all that mouth.
Yes.
All of that flippity floppity floop 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 floop. And yet she's a water bucket.
Yes. And then in the same sentence of saying how you don't want to basically see any accountability for what you have done. In the same sentence, Candace is going to say, but I still feel hopeful that we can work this out and me and Robin become friends as long as her minions aren't with her and we can have a private conversation.
Well, when you stop calling them negative, her friends, negative, and why don't you just go to her and just be an adult? And her mother even told her, you holding on to grudge. Sometimes you just gotta let stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not healthy. And
No.
when you want to know why you can't have friends, you got all these things that's blocking you.
You know what? You're right.
You know, you need to just stop being so angry and got you and gotta be sharp. But I tell you, Ashley timing up for her.
Yes, Ashley sure is.
Ashley
Ashley did
timing
that.
up. Ashley timing up for her. You know, yeah, she was in the Ashley apartment. No, Ashley was in her apartment when she went to get the knife on Ashley. Remember that episode? Ashley timing up for her. Nobody irks Candace the way Ashley does.
Yes, especially when they were getting ready to go to the drag show, and Candace was just like, I don't want anyone. She was just like, I don't want certain people in this car with us. And Ashley was going to get in the car, and then Candace was like, no, you can go to the other car. And Ashley was just like, no, I'm going to get in this car. You're basically saying you're not going to tell me what to do. And she got right in that car, especially because this is her trip. How are you going to tell the person?
That's what she
running
said.
this
Right,
trip?
she did do that. I was in the bathroom at the time doing my makeup, but yeah, she did do that.
Yeah,
right,
she did.
Right.
Disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
But really, other than that, that was pretty much all this episode. Oh, yes, Robin did walk up from the table when they was having dinner because she was just feeling overwhelmed. And then she went to go call her husband. And then her husband was just like, just hear Candace out. And then she was just like, okay, I'm not going to be talking, and like hang up on him mid-sentence. And then all the ladies.
That's because he's so insensitive.
He really is. That's not what she wanted to hear.
It's just that he's hard. And I guess maybe because he's just, I don't know. I don't want to make excuses because I just feel like her. I feel like everything is so hard. He has to have a tender hand. He's not tender. He's just, he treated like a basketball. It's hard. It dribbles and throws her and just, I don't like it. I don't like it. But the cards are saying he's there, and it doesn't say he loves her, but it does say that it's his family and he guards his family. His family means a lot to him.
Yeah.
That he will defend his family. And that includes Robin and the two boys. So I have to say that, right?
Yeah. That was pretty much it this episode.
Well, that was it. And that's all we have. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We know we did. I mean, really, we did. I mean, it was pretty much about Karen and her birthday party. Yeah. And that was nice. And you know, I'm so sad to see that Robin is going through, but everything is going to work out in the end. Either way, I hope everything works out for her, but it works out in the end. Well, nevertheless, we thank you for joining us on this
season 8, episode 8 of Real Housewives of Potomac.
Real Housewife of Potomac. Thank you for joining us, and we see you next week. Have a great week.